Are you finding emotionally it's quite hard right now, and you're not sure how to navigate your emotions? Well, today I'm going to talk about the emotional workout that is an absolute must, and sharing my experience with that and some tips for you today. So, thank you for being here today. Now, I was reflecting on this because people have been messaging me recently, and I've learned a lot from my own life, my own experience. And again, I'm not like a guru at all. Like, no, I don't think there are gurus, right? Like people go through their own experience and they share their own stories, right? And that's kind of what pushes through things like these silly little phrases like imposter syndrome, whatever that's meant to mean, and things like that. But and I'm not saying, by the way, I haven't had self doubt and a lack of self esteem and confidence. 100% I have, right? Definitely, right? And that then can come up, and I work for it a lot quicker than I used to, right? We're all growing. So I really want to give you hope, not hope, well, belief today, faith, certainty in yourself that you can work emotionally through your life as well. Now, being the fact you're here would suggest, yeah, you definitely, you're ready, right? And I thank you for that. Now, I was thinking about, I kind of went on a bit of a tangent now. I'm going to continue. I was thinking about like working out, and like, do you go to the gym? And this is a very simple example, but do you go to the gym and then eat well for like a week, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to be in shape and healthy for life? No, of course you don't, right? Well, would you like meditate for a week, cut out all like social media, cut out negative people, read all the good stuff for a week, and expect you emotionally to be on top of everything the rest of your life? No, right? I hate to break it to you. I'm sure you're aware of this, but maybe you've not hit the. Sometimes we don't always hit the realization. Yeah, but you have to do both for the rest of your entire life. If you want to be healthy, you got to continue to be healthy throughout your life. If you want to, and then obviously there's no guarantees in life, but eating healthy food and exercising is probably going to give you a lot more energy and in more shape than if you go to McDonald's all the time and don't do any exercise. Just say it, right? It's the same as with your mental diet. We don't think about this, the emotional workout. And it's something I've realized. It's like, oh, well, I'm doing all this good, like energetic stuff. And at the same time, I was on social media. I was perhaps, and perhaps maybe not the physical side, I was drinking too much alcohol. Other than that, I was eating well, but like it's almost not relevant if I was drinking alcohol. And like I'm just like thinking negative thoughts, not training myself. And I remember doing that particularly like 2022, right? It wasn't like an excessive amount at the start of like having alcohol too much or anything like that, but it was I certainly got lazy of my habits. I certainly was not emotionally working out as I knew I had been like the last 2 years. And do you know what? Some tough life events came in, and do you know what? I could not emotionally manage myself because I was not emotionally working on myself. And it's like you go to a marathon and you don't train for it. What happens? You're going to probably pass out if you try running a marathon. That's not funny, but like that's going to happen, right? Or very likely you won't finish it. You won't do very well, right? My saying is, I see life as a marathon, and if you're not emotionally working yourself every single day, then it's going to be tough when things come in. Now, of course, grief, horrific events outside of control can come in, and that doesn't mean like even if you're working yourself every single day, you're like, if it was for you, if it's like meditating, breath work, journey, all that stuff, and that's really helping you, it doesn't mean that if someone, sadly, if you were to lose someone close to you, that you wouldn't feel a thing. You would, you're a human being. Or if you lost a job, you wouldn't feel a thing. Of course you would. What I've realized though is when I'm emotionally working out, I'm a lot easier to bounce back. And I'm not talking about you bouncing back and repressing or suppressing things. No, right? You need to grieve, you need to feel things 100%. Right? I want to be really clear on that. Right? You need to feel as a human being. But I'm saying the day-to-day things that could maybe knock you off, like you missed a deadline or you get an unexpected bill or something like that, that's going to impact you a lot less. And also you can attract less negative people into your life if you're working out emotionally, because we're energy. Like this is really hard to explain sometimes because people are just like very logic and minded. So just writing down evidence of things that show up when you're feeling good and things that show up when you're feeling bad can really help you with this. But I've been lazy and not emotionally working out, and it really cost me. Okay, and just before I dive a bit further, I wanted to mention as well that if you're a guy and you're really wanting to know what is like a good emotional workout, well, I've got an opportunity for 3 guys to work one-on-one with me personally, where we're going to work on like what's an ideal routine for you, what are the things you need to do, what are the systems in place for you to work on your emotions and really thrive in your personal and or professional life. So if that's you and you're stuck and you're sick and tired of it as a guy, then just message me the word growth, and then we can see if you're a good fit for this limited time one-to-one opportunity I am offering. And I'll put my socials and the links below for that as well. Okay, so yeah, like I've been saying, we work out physically sometimes, not all of us. Unfortunately, obesity's on the rise, and diabetes, all these kind of things. But like sometimes we can work. You see these good, healthy, like appearing healthy guys in the gym, and they're like really down because they're not emotionally working out. And it's been said in like men's mental health that a lot of guys don't know what to do because we're taught to like repress and suppress our emotions, which isn't healthy. But learning, and it applies to all genders, everyone on the planet, but learning to work emotionally is really, really key. And unfortunately, there's certain culture, like having worked with many different people as well, there's certain cultures that don't encourage us to feel our emotions either. So how's it helping you by keeping stuck in a certain emotion? So, right, here are some steps I want to give you. The first thing is choose and commit. Choose and commit to emotionally working out every single day. Now, of course, you may be going through a tough time where you're not going to be able to maybe do as much, and that's okay, right? I've been in those dark places where it didn't work out with someone. Maybe I was in a short-term relationship or dating or whatever, and it was just like really hard, and I couldn't do as much, right? But I still committed to doing certain things. It wasn't as much as I usually could because energy was getting drained by me and all my like worries and regrets and those kind of things, right? And you shouldn't have any regrets, but sometimes the brain goes into that mode, right? But choose and commit that no matter what, you are going to emotionally work out. Now, and maybe, for example, you're like, right, I'm going to do 30 minutes meditation a day. And I'm not saying you have to do meditation, but say you chose that. And then suddenly you go for a really hard time. Maybe you just commit to 5 minutes meditation a day. See what is best for you. The second thing is scheduling it. Scheduling in the emotional workout. And ideally do this straight away, start of the day. Make another 15, 20 minutes in the morning after you wake, like alarm for waking up if you need to, but scheduling it is going to be really, really key. And making sure when you schedule in, making sure you trial and error, what are the things that are going to work for you. Don't make it overly complicated. Don't be like, I'm going to work on 2 hours worth of emotional workout in the morning, and I'm going to be doing like an hour of meditation, an hour of breath work, and you've never done it, because you might do it for a few days and you go, oh, this is too hard, I'm going to give up. As opposed to like 15 minutes of one of those things, and you just commit for a month or so. And I will also say with this one, it's kind of a long point, but it's all the same point, is making sure you've got a system to allow you to win. If you're like, right, I plan to do this and it may or may not happen, then you have horrible words come in like try. Yes, try is a horrible word because it implies it's tentative and you may or may not do it. So say like, I am going to do this. I'm not going to try, I am going to do it. Okay, take the word try out of your vocabulary because it means it's tentative, right? You are going to commit to your emotional workout every single day, so schedule it. Now, I've got a final point as well. Just wanted to mention again, though, that if you are a guy or you know a guy who wants to work personally one-on-one with me because you're a bit stuck, you're needing some direction, you're like, maybe a bit overwhelmed in your personal and or professional life, then just message me the word growth on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook or LinkedIn, just Jonny Pardoe on any of those platforms, and then we can have a chat of whether this is right for you and you're a right fit for this as well. Okay, and that kind of comes nicely onto my final point. Get yourself a coach and or community. Why is that important? because I found in like my mastermind, in my men's groups, with my coaches, with all the groups I've been part of, like when I'm surrounded with the right people doing the work on themselves, I start adapting. We're human beings. We will adapt to what we're around, even virtually. Is really, really important. If you can find in person, that's even better, because that's like a certain type of energy as well when you're in person together, right? And I've done that with like men's groups as well. It's really, really powerful when you're all together. There's a great energy when you're working on yourself. But if you're people who are like, and it's no judgment, people are at their own place. Try and take judgment away, because people are where they are and you can't change anyone, right? But if you've got people in your life who are okay with what they're doing, like maybe they like doing some of the things that don't feel so good for you, right? Well, make sure you find people in your life who can help you, because if you keep hanging out with people who like do the things that don't make you feel so good, then you're going to adapt. It's going to be so hard. Then you're relying on willpower, and that's not going to last. Willpower does not work. But your behavior automatically adjusts depending on the people you're around. So finding a high quality peer group and or coach is really, really key as well. So that's what I got for you today. I really want to just cover the importance of the emotional workout. You cannot like expect yourself emotionally to feel better if you're doing the same things. I'm just calling this out. It sounds so obvious, but apparently it's not, right? I know this is a bit of tough love today, because I've heard people say like, oh, I'm just getting really anxious, feeling down, and I'll, I'm there, I've got compassion, I got love. And I'm like, okay, so what are you doing to like feed your mind to feel good every single day? Nothing really. Well, how on earth do you expect to feel good? Now, then I give them some suggestions, and sadly, they don't always take it. And guess what? They get the same results, right? These are not clients. These are, people might just come to me and aren't ready for that kind of help yet. But if you're really committed to yourself, like I say, I've got the opportunity to work with me one-on-one if you're a guy, or if you know a guy. But yeah, just find yourself a system, a bunch of people that are really going to help you move forward. Now, going through the steps again on the emotional workout. Number 1, choose and commit to it. Number 2, schedule it. All right, schedule it in your calendar. Number 3, get a group and or coach to really help you move further, because you're going to adapt your surroundings. So thank you for listening today. I appreciate you for being here. And remember to lead with your heart and not with fear.